Hello and welcome to my travel tips series. Today I'm going to give you some tips for a smooth journey through the airport to your destination. So let's start off with arrival. Arrival at the airport. Please arrive early. There are people who would be late for their own funeral. If you're that sort of person, then please leave even earlier. Because I've never been late yet, but touch wood. However, there's going to be a first time, even though I leave plenty of time. I actually leave far too much time. However, we've had several occasions when I've been down to the last minutes as far as getting on the plane. So it's well worth arriving early at the airport because you don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know what the traffic is going to be like. You cannot guarantee that you're going to be able to have a smooth journey all the way from your house to the airport. So leave earlier, plan ahead. When you get to the airport, then obviously you need to find the check-in desk. Now, the recommended method is to check in online before you arrive, and then all you do is take your baggage to the check-in drop zone where you can drop your baggage off. You've already checked in, so you're all done, and then you go on your way. However, I have never ever been able to use that system. It could well be because of my destination has been one that they can't do that with, and I know that when I've tried it, I put my passport in and whatever and everything else, and it comes up with no, you need to go to the check-in desk. So I don't bother with any of that anymore. I just arrive early and go to the check-in desk. So next big one is, once you've checked in, is security. Oh, this is a nightmare, or it can be a nightmare, but it can be made easier providing you remember several important points. If you're wearing a belt, for example, they will ask you to take it off, so probably don't wear a belt is my answer. I always wear sloppy trousers, things with that you can lounge around in. None of my trousers have belts, so that's really good, and I haven't got to faff around taking my belt off and then putting it back on afterwards. They would ask you to take your shoes off, so it's probably best to have easy to use shoes. If you're a wheelchair user, then there is some doubt whether they will ask you to do that or not. I don't know. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. You won't go through the scanner. However, they will do a manual check on you. So be prepared for that. If you're carrying hand luggage through the security, then you need to make sure that you have all of your tablets and phones out of the bag. Don't leave them in the bag. It will get flagged up and it will waste your time having to wait for them to check it. I've done it once by mistake and I was there for another 25 minutes. The last one very important with security is liquids. Don't try and take liquids through, the minimum amount that you can take, so put it into a bag. They do offer these bags before you enter security. You cannot even take drinking water through. My tip for that is to empty your container of water and put the empty container into your bag, and then on the other side find a free water filler and fill it back up with water. Don't buy expensive water. Okay, so make sure that your liquids are fully visible in the bag, in the plastic bag, and separately outside of your hand luggage. If you are lucky enough to be the upper class sort of posh people with lots of money, or you have a bonus card thing with the airline, then you can take advantage of the lounge. You might find that there's some snacks and coffee and tea and things like this, and of course you can sit there in the comfort of a private lounge to stay away from all the plebs who are flying through and all of those noisy children that are running around. The other important thing is to remember to pop to the loo before you get on the plane or even start queuing for boarding, because you're not going to be able to go. Usually they won't let you go straight away. I know I have, but then I think I've got an advantage. So I don't know if anybody else is able to use the loo before they take it off, but generally you would have to wait until they take off before you can go in, and then you have to get out of your seat, and it's a terrible inconvenience. Especially if you're on the inside window seat and you've got to climb over two people, it's pretty inconsiderate, really. Don't forget your seat position is important. You can choose your seat. There's a few seat positions I choose that I prefer, none of which are in the door because I'm not allowed to sit there. The door row, which means that you have to help with the door if you ever crash. How likely that is, I don't know, but you don't want to tempt fate. When you have your hand luggage and you're going on the plane, don't put all the stuff you need right at the bottom, and you buffy them around before you put your bag up in the cupboard up above. People stood there in the aisle whilst they're trying to get stuff out their hand luggage, holding everybody up. Don't do that. It's a really annoying thing. Make sure that your stuff you need is at the top and you can just take it out straight away. An important one, if you're travelling regularly and you don't know about this, but then you can watch my other video about this, backpacking, and tips to save you time. There are 2 more videos in this series. You can actually, I'll give you a quick reminder, you can actually buy a strap to put around your bag that you can identify it very simply when the baggage comes out the carousel. My last tip for a smooth journey through the airport and through to your destination is to make sure that your documentation is out and ready, and that you know that you are, if you are landing somewhere where you need to complete a form, then do that whilst you're on the plane. And talking of that, make sure that you have a pen handy. So take a pen with you. They are invaluable pieces of kit. Often in case you can borrow one, however, don't rely on that. I have been on planes where nobody will let you have a pen, so bring your own. And obviously, if you're feeling generous, then you can lend it out to other people in your row. Then you pick up your baggage and you go off to the customs area. You with your baggage, and this is the last stage of your journey. So all in all, everything up until here should have been quite smooth and planned. Now, obviously, depending on which queue you pick, will be depending on how long you are going to have to wait to go through customs and get through into the airport itself. This can vary. Generally, because I'm a wheelchair user, I have a wheelchair assistance. We generally go through the shorter queue, which is for special needs and monks and aircrew. If you're not lucky enough to be able to do that, then obviously you're going to have to queue like everybody else. Right, I hope you've enjoyed my 9 tips for a smooth journey at and through the airport to your destination. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like and share, and I'll catch you again for another travel tip very soon. Bye for now.